Hello everyone and welcome to A Distorted Revelation. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I am Ali and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. This game is a sequel, let's say, of my previous game, Divergent Dream, and I hope you enjoy horror on a ship. For those who are new to Dungeons & Dragons, everyone here plays fantasy character in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique characters with shit that tells them who they are, what they can do, the deepest secrets, and what dice to roll. They will be mostly rolling 20-sided dice to see if they succeed or not. 20 is good and 1 is hilariously bad. They will play the characters and everything else in said fantasy universe is played by me. People, weather, monsters, you name it. And between me describing the world and story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice to roll to keep things interesting, we will tell our story. Now, let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm G. I'm playing Charlie, who is a fire genasi wildfire druid, so we'll be setting fire to things. They're non-binary and have quite kind of, unlike most fire genasi, they have quite grey, dry, sort of ashy skin and hair like sort of charred straw. And they work for like super powerful wizard and just like do stuff for them, like picking up things from a ship.
Hello everybody, I'm Joe. I use he/him pronouns, and I will be playing Wesley, who also uses he/him pronouns. He is a fairly young, fair-haired human who is a wonderfully suave and swashbuckling storm sorcerer, and will be attempting to match certain other members of the party in amounts of lightning and thunder.
Hello, I'm Sean. I am playing Tetch, the cleric of Talos that you may have met had you seen A Feltide Rising, the campaign that I ran. And so he's an NPC who is coming into the fore as a player character. He's everyone's favourite conspiracy theorist, looking for groups of 5 harbingers that may or may not be causing devastation and destruction wherever they go. Tetch is a Mark of Storm half-elf and is a domain of Tempest, so expect to see plenty of lightning and thunder and various antics of that nature.
Hi everyone, I'm Johnny and I go by he/him pronouns, and in this game I am playing Malagak, the bugbear rune knight fighter person, who also uses he/him pronouns. He's a wonderfully war-painted bugbear, a little bit on the lower side with some of the stats in places like intelligence and wisdom, but makes up for it with his strength and his great axe.
Hi, I'm Liz. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing Orica Ferris, who uses she pronouns. Orica is a full orc bard. She is tusky. She's fabulous. She's here to play some exquisite songs and set some records straight. So I guess grab a nail, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And also, let's have a word from our sponsors.
We are delighted to be sponsored by HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. HeroForge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time, and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive, cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. You could be playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
Check out our wonderful supporters Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
This stream will run for 3 hours, and there will be roughly a 5 to 10 minute break somewhere towards the middle. We run shows on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Greenwich Meridian / British Summertime, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. in mainland Britain, and 2 a.m. Tuesday mornings in Japan and parts of Australia. On Mondays, we run TTRPG streams. These can be one-shots, 4, 6, 8, or even 12 weeks long. You can always find out our latest schedule at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg/schedule. On Tuesdays, we have our ongoing campaign, Fracture. And on Fridays, we have our talk show, Talk Together, and Talking is a Free Action, which lasts for 1 hour.
We are Roll Together RPG on all socials, so find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. Links in chat.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us make our shows from just £1, $1, or $1 gold piece, and unlock more tiers by joining. Our D20 Club are fab. They've created a fan Discord for us. They've also made a wiki page for Roll Together. You can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
Welcome to our podcast listeners. If you also would like to listen to us via podcast, you can search for Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcast provider. If we're not there, let us know and we will add ourselves to that list.
Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with a wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage our champion trans and GNC players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are from a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but we acknowledge that it does happen. We have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instant of misgendering, we are open to be corrected. So please let us know if you think one has been missed. Also, check out !safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use. And now, let us begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Last time, in our first session of at the sort of revelation, we have a lot of things happening. So we presented our characters, those lovely people, and then we managed to get into the ship and to get into this lovely performance where Oren allowed you to jump into the stage, and you lovely sang 25 Maidens, something like that. It was absolutely gorgeous. After the performance, a familiar face for all of the fans came along, and we found out that Teseli has been arranging a mission for Oren, but then Oren, friend, rival, slash, who knows, with Orica, outsourced this mission to you, and you kindly went ahead to solve such mission in exchange of getting you access to the upper levels to this ship. You also tried to contact Isabella. Well, Charlie tried to contact Isabella, who wasn't around with the teammates or like the other staff that works in this ship. But that's to see what is going on. Once you get down into the warehouse levels, you manage to find the room where you were sent to retrieve something, and very skillfully you got inside the room. Now, when you were inside the room, of course, we opened the box and we trigger an encounter. The encounter started developing with a little bit of roughness here and there, but so far I think you're doing pretty well. We left just in the middle, and let's see where it goes. So, Joe, Wesley, top of the round. You still have 4 enemies around. Where you are standing, maybe you can see some of them through the door, but most of them are inside the door.
Mm-hmm. And am I right in thinking Malagak is kind of in the doorway, so sort of difficult to do anything without hitting him?
I am squatting down though, remember?
Yeah,
I don't trust you.
Oh, so you're only like 4.5 feet tall.
Yeah, most of it's fluff, as we've already determined.
Yeah, I don't think I want to risk another lightning bolt with any Malagaks in the way, so I'll just throw a chromatic orb at the nearest slime creature that I can see.
Malagak breathes a sigh of relief.
Goes just over your head. Or maybe it doesn't. That's only an 11 to hit. You're muted, Ali.
Let me see who is the closest. They are not too sturdy, so no, 11 misses.
Sad times. Oh well. Yeah, and I will just continue staying fairly far back at the other side of this room, away from the creepy slime creatures.
Yeah. You've seen that Charlie has sort of started running, stopped, and now still there. So you still have like around, I would say, 20, 25 feet to catch up with Charlie.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I deliberately decided not to follow Charlie the last time, and I'll stick with that decision.
Great. Next one is one. Oh my god. So, Malaga, what if I would multi-attack you a couple of times?
You can try.
So here we go.
Malagak has sweat on his brow, most from the magic blowing up behind him.
That is a natural 20, 25.
I would like to use my reaction on that, please.
Okay. What's your reaction going to be?
So as I look to the side and see this chromatic orb flying like very close to my head, and it kind of puts me on edge. And as I turn back, I see that I've been a bit too slow to react to this blow coming in. And I would like to, in that movement, I just push. Is it a blade? Is it a plasmoid attack? It's a spear. Okay, so I just slam the spear, and I'm going to use my reaction to use my cloud rune. to make that attack hit another creature that I can see, and it's going to hit one of the plasmoids next to me instead.
Ooh, phew.
Do I have to re-roll or with the same attack roll?
It's the same attack roll, yeah.
Oh,
Not today, Satan!
okay. So the next one is this other fella, and he's gonna take double damage. So that is 10. So the plasmoid sort of just like go like for no reason, and the next creature to it is not happy about it. But here we goes. My second attack. I don't think it's gonna hit. 18 to hit.
Yeah.
For 5 points of damage.
Malachite yelps. You
see other hand coming out and it's gonna shoot you, but it's a pistol, so it's a disadvantage. Worry not.
I don't have high AC.
Says natural 20 just 5 seconds ago. Don't worry.
I got one reaction.
Oh, 18 with disadvantage.
Yeah, that still clips me.
So that could be 7 points of piercing damage.
I think it still looks fairly okay. These are kind of just like they're superficial wounds at the moment.
Fine. With that, we move to the next. We move to Orica. Orica, you've seen this. You are like 10 feet away from Malaga, but opposite side to Charlie.
So not really expecting to have had to fight anything, Orica is going to just clip onto her lyre, her instrument, a very small, like tambourine-like drum with 2 bits of string that dangle off the top and bottom with beads on. So when she shakes her lyre, not a euphemism, the drum does beat. This is a rhythm maker's drum. She is going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level at the natural 20.
At the natural 20.
Yes, at that guy.
Yes.
So if he can make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom. It's not really wisdom, eh?
Good.
I got a 4 on the die.
Amazing. There's like tendrils of smoke coming from this instrument, but they kind of, you know, in Fantasia, when you see the music and you see the sound waves react, they kind of react with sort of jagged drum beats as it kind of gets into this thing's head. That's 3d6 of psychic damage. So it's 11 points of psychic damage.
11.
Correct. And then as a bonus action, Malagak, I know they're only superficial, but I can see your blood matting into your fur, darling. It's not a good look. I'm going to cast Healing Word again at 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Malagak, I'll do it later. I'm just warming up. I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing you.
I can see your blood and I don't care.
No, just continue bleeding. It's fine. I will cast, I'll use a bonus action for Bardic Inspiration. I will advise Malagak, bleeding on stage isn't really something that many people want to watch. Do with that what you will. And I'll let you know, Johnny, how much that D8, I think it's a D8. I will double check.
Malagak is inspired.
Yeah.
Disappointed yet inspired.
And that ends my turn. Am I in range of any of them, Ali, in terms of melee? I'm just gonna back up a little bit with my lyre with its
opposite
drum
direction
attack.
So if you keep following, going back, you will be in the same situation as Charlie. So you will be in range with the other constructs.
I'll stay where I am. I will stay where I am and think about it.
Good. With that, we move to Tetch.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was me next.
You.
So what's the situation at the moment?
So we have 4 monsters inside that are just being held by Malagak. You are behind Wesley, and the same situation. You are in the same corridor behind Charlie.
Okay. And all 4 of the enemies are kind of around Malagak? Like there wouldn't be a way of getting some of them and not Malagak?
Orica is in the right position. You will have to go move a little bit but that would put you away from Charlie.
Oh, but the 4 are around Malagak, right? Or are some of them?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have any sort of opportunity attacks because he's holding them at the door.
Oh, I'm not worried about getting opportunity attacked. I'm just wondering whether I'm going to have to throw a spell that's going to infect Johnny.
In fact, oh no!
Is that a line, a circle, a cone?
Most of my stuff is cones or is area effect rather than lines. I'm just.
I feel like me holding the door is a double-edged sword right now.
do any of them look like they are at full health?
Interesting question. I will give you that for free. Only one is a full. No, there is two that is a full health because they're being standing inside. They haven't received any damage. Actually, they haven't even take a turn. Let's say they just been using the turn to get to you.
Okay. Would you say that they are within 30 feet of me?
Absolutely.
In that case, I'm going to use Witch Bolt.
I love it. Which level?
I'll throw it at second. Yeah. Because it's only the first hit that gets the extra damage anyway. You watch as kind of Tech just again weaves kind of arcane symbols and then just points with one finger and the bolt strikes out towards them. That is a ranged spell attack for me, so I'm going to do that. That is an 18.
That hits.
Good. Second level, that is... Where'd it go? Oh, that's right. Because of the way I've got it, got my D&D Beyond set up, it only appears in my first level slots, so I'm going to have to roll my D12s.
I love that spell. And it's concentration, right?
And it is concentration, yeah. So that's 12 points of damage. I don't think that it...
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't add any modifiers at this point. So 12 points of damage, and I'm now concentrating on it, and this bolt of lightning is just forming an arc between my finger and the enemy, and I'm just kind of pointing him to death.
Okay. Any bonus action of movement?
I don't really have any bonus actions, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna stay where I am because I also don't want to kind of back away into anyone. So I think that's my lot. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for that. With that, we move to Malagak, who is at the door, surrounded by monsters. The monsters that are surrounding you, immediately, they look a little bit squishy, but still stone-blooded. The natural 20... I don't know, the natural 20 has already had its turn. Forget about it. So yeah, you have 4 monsters around you.
Okay.
Being by that. I
can see, obviously, my situation in the doorway is causing problems. So what I would like to do is, we'll have to see how this works or not, because this could go really badly or just be really lackluster. I'm going to use my action surge to make 4 attacks against each of them. 1 attack against each of them, but instead of attacks, I would like to try and grapple each of them. Again, I have really long arms, and effectively, I'm going to be trying to get 2 of them in one arm, the other one, and then shove them towards the door, and me on the other side of the door. So it'd be me, the 4 plasmoids, my friends, with me trying to grapple all 4. That is the intent.
Johnny, are you trying to make a plasmoid sandwich? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yes, that's
just checking.
A sandwich.
So again, I have really long arms as part of my racial stuff. So again, I'm just trying to scoop up 2 of them in one arm, scoop up the other 2, and then just shove them into the doorway, trying to hold them there so my friends can just do their things.
So this is a contested athletics, or well, in your case, I think everybody choose, but no, I think in your case it's strength. In my case, it's either strength or dexterity.
Sure. So do I need to roll to attack to do the grapple, or is it just contested athletics?
Contested. So
I need to
roll me for acrobatics.
Okay, so can I do athletics, not acrobatics?
Which one is dexterity? Strength?
Strength is
athletics
athletics.
is the strength one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I'm doing this, so I move through them, and I would like to use my bonus action to giant smite. So I will grow. So I'm basically like hitting the ceiling, and that gives me advantage on any strength-based checks. So I'll have advantage on these rolls.
Okay. So let's do one by one. So roll me the first one.
Okay, so the first one is a natural 20.
I got for 28. Good. I also got a natural 20, but 23.
Okay.
So the first one is grapple, and then place.
Second one is an 18.
And I roll a 19.
May I silvery barbs that, please? I'm sorry, you'll have to go with my friend. He likes hugs, I promise.
Yeah.
Look at this fluff.
And I'll give advantage to Malagak.
The 19 turns into a 9 as this sort of the plasma sort of turns to you and gets out of balance. And yeah, perfect. Third one, please.
Third one is that's a 25.
I got a 9.
It's working well.
Last one, please.
The last one is another natural 20.
And I got a natural 1.
Amazing.
These things don't understand why you're rushing to them and then just roar.
I imagine the last one didn't even try, just saw his friends just get gripped. Just like,
all right, so.
And then I shoved them all into so I've got one like sandwich in my arms, and I'm just like shoving them into the doorway. So I'm hiding behind them, and all you guys would see is my big arms around the necks of these 4 creatures, and their bodies squished into the doorway for you. And it's like, go on, do it now!
I was going to say, do we just see their little legs like kicking?
Yeah, I lift them up slightly as well so they can't move.
Somewhere from within this bundle of fur.
I'm loving this. I'm just loving it.
Again, my intent is to they're giving me cover from my friends' spells, and they are now unable to move and right in the doorway.
I mean, your arm's still there. So
oh yeah, but
let's see where we get from here. Yes, I don't think there is a rule in the book like if your arms are exposed, but we will find out.
So that's my action surge done and my giant smite done as well.
Yeah, so you had double attack, which you make 4 with the action surge. Yes, great. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's Charlie, you don't know what's happening.
Nor do we.
But if you look just with the end of the eye, you will see hairy arms at the door.
Yes. And is there anyone sort of immediately in front of that?
I think all of them are outside. Well, that's a complicated.
And so basically, how close is everybody standing?
The closest one is Orica, but is 10 feet away.
10 feet away. I think that's okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So turning and seeing this, because I've expected everybody to follow. I would just shout, "Come on, guys! I thought you were coming. I thought you were coming with me." And we'll just sort of throw up a little bit of flame out of my hand, and it'll take on the shape of like a hummingbird, and it'll just sort of zip down the corridor and just sort of flies. And I think sort of like kamikaze bombs the ground just in front of all the plasmoids, and bursts into a flaming sphere. Third level flaming sphere. So they would have to make dex saves.
Right now,
5 feet diameter. So I'd like to do it in a point that it gets them, but not Malagak.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Because the arms are there.
They're big arms.
That's a 14.
I would say you, Malaga, would take half damage. I mean, so Malaga would have to do the save, but even if he fails, he's gonna take half. Does that make sense? So nothing on a success, half on a fail.
Cool.
So all of them will have to do dexterity. You said?
Yeah, dex saves, which I'm assuming is a disadvantage because they're all grappled.
I have to check that.
Don't think it is.
It's not.
Which is weird. They can't move, but
Yeah,
they
they can't move. Yeah.
Yeah, just they can move. Yes,
They can wobble.
they can wriggle.
Grappling doesn't mean disadvantage on dex saves.
No, I think you need to be
Really?
restrained for that, which is a.
That's my next turn.
Show them. Yeah.
Fair enough.
What is the DC?
It's a 16.
16.
Oh wait, can I use my bardic inspiration on that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, get a
Just
1.
fine. I got a 4. Yes, I passed it.
So you a little bit of hair is burning, but nothing to worry about. My first creature fails. How much damage?
It's 3d6. Unfortunately, it's still only 9 damage.
6, you said.
9.
9. 3 damage. All right, my second creature, and got a 3. So it's the same 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
The third creature gets a 17, so passes. Is that half?
Yes.
Nice. And my last creature gets a 9, so damage again. Nice. As these creatures start like burning, any bonus action or movement?
So my bonus action is I'm going to stay where I am, but my bonus action will be just to move the flaming sphere out of the way so other people can attack.
That's nice. How far can it move?
How it can move up to 30 feet. How tall or how high is the ceiling in here?
Last time we said 10 feet, I
It
think.
was 10 feet because I could attack them whilst running along the ceiling.
So it could be 5 feet and still leave 5 feet for anyone to get.
Yeah, I'll sort of bring it towards me a little bit. And
Okay, cool.
so like 10 feet towards me.
Nice. Next is the creatures are being held by Johnny. Well, sorry, by Malaga. I guess the only thing that they can do is try to pierce your arms. So that's what they're gonna do.
They could try.
And they have 2. So, that's far too many dice. A 5 to hit, which I guess is not gonna hit. A 19 to hit for 22. And you take 6 points of slashing damage as one of them just start to lashing your arms.
A 5, did you say?
Yeah, 5. Next one is another plasmod that is going to do exactly the same. How original, Ali? How original. For 9 to hit, which I guess misses. And natural 20 for 10 points of slashing damage.
Don't have any more cloud roots. Malagak is no longer looking as good as he was. Still standing though.
My last creature is gonna make 2 longsword attacks.
You don't have to.
A 12 to hit and a 17 to hit.
17 will hit, the 16. The other one won't, sorry.
So that is 5 points of slashing damage. Emerge. And
Malagak just looks like he's struggling to keep them in his arms right now.
one is slashing you. We're gonna go top of the round with Wesley. Wesley, your friend is being slightly burned and slightly stabbed. So
Just a little bit. This is very weird. I've played a healer in the last couple of games, so it's really unusual not being able to be like, yes, I'll just fix Malagak. but sadly, that is not a thing I can do. So let's just throw another chromatic orb out. Wesley, maybe aiming a little bit more carefully this time. We'll just sort of swirl his hands around, and energy crackling between his fingertips will hurl this glowing ball of lightning forwards at, whichever one of the plasmoids looks most wobbly, least wobbly. I don't know which of those is a measure of vitality.
Most or less?
That is a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Great. 10 points of damage.
One of them is no more.
Nice.
Yes.
And I'll just turn down the corridor to Charlie and say, "Are you all right down there?"
And from behind the ball of fire, I'll go down here.
Yeah, but so Wesley moved towards Charlie, or just?
No, I'm perfectly happy where I am. Nothing's trying to kill me. It's great.
Good. Thank you. Next one is one of the plasmoids who is being held. The one that has a pistol is gonna start stabbing you. So here we go. First attack for a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
For 4 points of damage.
Still up.
Just.
Next one is a 7 to hit.
Oh my god.
And the pistol with disadvantage goes for 16 to hit.
Damn. Yes, that's my AC.
That's your AC. So the pistol goes for 7 points of damage.
Then Malagak drops all of the individuals.
As the people that is like really close, you just see how the arms just...
I guess I kind of like half fall on them at the same time.
Yes.
I'm a giant bugbear right now.
How high did you lift them? Did they take falling damage when they fall?
Get lifted to the ceiling.
At this point, the creatures are just at the doorway, and Malagak is inside. So, tricky position to be in. All right. Next one is Orica.
So,
your friend is on the floor.
I'm not happy about it, DM. So what I'm going to do,
sorry.
I'm going to address all of them because they've been very badly behaved, and I'm going to inform them that your organisation is shocking. You've just let us come into this place, take something of yours, and you're just disgruntled now. Could they make a wisdom? Could one of them make a wisdom saving throw, please? That is vicious mockery.
Yes.
Oh, there's security.
Oof. 15.
15 does not beat the 16 required.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 8 points of psychic damage again.
Nice.
I will then say, Malagak, dear, do get up. We don't have time to be lying around, and I will cast Healing Word at 3rd level on Malagak.
Beautiful.
13, not much, 13 HP.
It's 130% more than... No, that's wrong maths.
And then I think I'm going to say to Charlie, Charlie, what are you doing? We're in a pickle here. Are you coming or going? What's happening, dear?
And we were all going.
I know we were, and then there was a situation and things got tricky. Let's just stay here for the moment, and then we can regroup. And yes, that'll end my turn, Ali.
Thank you. Next one, fortunately, is Malagak, who came back from the dead.
Oh, no bleeding on the stage. I'm not sleeping.
You better not be sleeping. That's terrible, terrible thing to do on the stage.
Terrible.
As I'm standing up, I just like push them away from me, grab my battle axe. Right, your head, your leg. And I'm gonna make 2 attacks against 2 of them.
Yeah.
With my great axe. As I'm standing up, slightly bloodied, and that's a 14.
That won't hit. Oh yes. How much damage?
So as Malagak hits into him, some of the tribal tattoos along his from underneath his fur, they light up. So you just see this like kaleidoscopic fire rune stuff on the ceiling around him, and he deals 13 points of piercing damage from his axe, and then they need to make a strength saving throw as fiery runes erupt from his arm and attempt to wrap around them.
19.
So they're not restrained, but they do take 5 additional points of fire damage.
Those extra 5 points of fire damage just finish burning this plasmoid, and it's no more. Good job.
Feeling invigorated by this success, I'm going to use my bonus action to second wind and then use my second attack on one of the other ones.
Yes.
Second wind is 1d6 plus 10, isn't it, for me? 1d. So that's 7 points of healing. Still good.
Good.
With the 13, that puts me a little bit healthier than I was just a second ago. I'd like to use my experience in battle. Natural 20, the next one. That's a 28 to hit. That's 3 natural 20s.
Oh my god.
So you had two
attacks. So my first attack was my normal attack, and then I get to add my fire rune to it. And this is my second attack. I just broke it up with my bonus action.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be 2d12 plus 5. So the second one gets an axe in the face for 23 points of slashing damage.
The one with the pistol, describe me how you kill this thing.
I go through it, and I'm imagining a plasmoid. It kind of like comes back together again, and I'm just like, no! As it's like free falling, and I just keep hitting it like over and over again until it just collapses into goop around
Until
me.
it just done holes.
Yeah, it just stops. It just gives up.
Good job. There is only one left. It's in front of you. But anything else? Any movement?
No. So it's between me and the doorway. I'm not going to move away. So that's it.
Thank you. Charlie, you go next, but I realized I skipped Tetch. Tetch, you were before Malagai, but you can take your turn now. I'm really sorry.
Sorry, it happens in the thick. The one that's still standing, does that happen to be the one that I'm concentrating on? Can I deal the D12 lightning damage to that with my action?
Yeah, I think you can still having the upscale damage.
No, it does say like if you the initial damage increases. It's
just the initial. Okay.
Yeah, but I did roll a 12, so I did just as well as I did last turn anyway.
Nice.
So that's 12 damage. Still standing?
Yes.
That doesn't count as me casting a spell, but
No.
I'm also not sure that I necessarily want to do another one. You know what? Just in case, I will just do a level 1 guiding bolt, which again just kind of looks lightning-y, even though it's radiant. So that is 19 to hit.
Hits.
And that's 4d6. Yahtzee. No, 15.
15. Nice. Still standing, but looks pretty rough. And the next attack was with advantage. Anything else?
No, pass over the torch to Charlie.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Now it is indeed your turn.
Cool. I will be watching this and go, man, this sucker takes some beating, and will throw a scorching ray at it. Again at 3rd level. So that's the one I want. So there's 3 of them. Do I roll for each one, or is it just one roll?
Yeah, you roll for each one, but you can do one at advantage because of touch.
Yeah, the first one goes with advantage.
The first one with advantage. So that's 17 to hit.
Hits.
Next one is 13.
Misses.
Misses. And then it's a 25.
Hits.
So that hits. And then it is first one. 7 damage.
Nice.
Second one. 6 damage.
With that damage, this plasma is no more. How does your magic? Is just normal fire or like any animal shape?
No, with the scorching ray, I think it's like a baseball. And since I'm on the other side of this sort of flaming sphere, I kind of like get this ball and I do like a curved kind of pitch around it. So yeah, I do once from each hand around it, and so it kind of hits it from either side in the head, and then the third one will probably just hit the dead body or the burning goo.
Yes. With that, we are out of combat. Congratulations.
The flaming sphere disappears.
I would say that those creatures they are part of like the security system. So as long as they die, they sort of just disappear, leaving no trail. But the construct still there. So like the parts that constitute the construct still there. The door, it's still open, but you can see that any light that was inside on any kind of alarm just dissipates. And everything is in silence, just as before. What's going on, guys?
I will approach and I will plug a 3rd level Cure Wounds into Malagak, which, I mean, being very lightning based is literally just going to be, it's almost like I shake your hand, but it's like an electric buzzer that just ripples up your arm, and then but the lightning kind of just heals you and just fluffs your fur up a bit.
Nice. Like, is there one of those pens that gives you massages, giving you like like shocks?
Yeah, like one of those machines that just kind of ripples your muscles and slowly tones you up. You feel toned. 21 points of healing. 21 points of healing, Johnny.
That's almost back to full health.
Malagak suddenly triples in size when the fur is on it. Going back to our earlier conversation about the weirdest things we've ever seen. That was it. Who has slime monsters as part of their security system?
Oh, I know. I thought I was a goner there. Thank you, Tetch and Orica, for the magic hands.
Thanks for keeping them out of the way of the rest of us, Malagak.
Oh, no, anytime. Maybe like an hour.
Anytime, just not for the immediate future?
Yeah.
So I think I've got what we came for, and I kind of like pull the mask out a little bit, but just sort of keep it still mostly hidden.
What is it?
Get the hell out of here.
Let us look at it in private, I think.
Exactly.
Is there a way to get out of here that doesn't involve fighting more of those things?
Do the other ones look like they're bothered? I mean, Charlie, you got fairly far down the corridor. Did they seem alert?
Not as far as I got. I don't know, maybe now that there's no fighting, I'd be happy to try just walking past them. They didn't bother us before, so...
They must have some way of telling when something's going wrong, because this one started attacking us before we'd noticed anything.
And the slime people, did they just appear out of thin air? Were they in the room the entire time?
A spider told me to open the box, and then they came out of the ceiling.
Literally out of the ceiling, or were they...
They dropped off the ceiling.
Oh, were you there too?
Yeah.
Did see you.
Orica's just going to take a little moment with her new attachment to her lyre. Just she'll be tuning the strings, but also kind of making sure that the drum's still working. The Rhythm Maker's drum allows for one bardic inspiration use to come back, so that's what she's doing during this conversation.
Nice.
Thank you for the kind words in the battle, Orica. It really inspired me to get off my butt and carry on.
I mean, you really have marvelous stage presence, and if you just funnel your abilities the right direction, you'll go very far in the entertainment industry. I know that you like to pick things up and take them places, so maybe behind stage, working backstage, props. I think you do very well.
Just don't bleed over the stage again.
Don't do that.
Look down at the ground. That's mine.
It is, yes.
Maybe a sort of hybrid role where you're primarily backstage, but you're the sort of backstage helper that is known and loved as part of the performance.
I could be the vocalist.
Gets to show himself on stage occasionally.
Yeah.
Or encouraging those who are nervous. You had a very good voice that you could project, and that would really sort of rile them up and get them ready to go on. I think you do very well.
Well, if I ever stop hugging things to death, then that will be my next calling.
Charlie. Go.
Should we walk and talk, perhaps?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Back to the cabin or to the bar?
The bar. Don't want people. If we do get followed, then it'll be a lot easier to lose them in there, and then we can make our way back to the room.
I agree.
Is it worth considering that maybe Charlie might be detectable with this object on? Could we maybe surround Charlie so that they can't be seen? Charlie, you can maybe duck down to the floor or something. I'm just anticipating disaster.
I could carry you.
I don't think that'd help.
Okay.
So, Charlie, you're the one that is
offer. I mean, if I had a rest for a little bit, I could get it subtly to pretty much anywhere on the ship.
Charlie, you are close. So the warehouses of each room has like a small separation between each. It's like a small corridor that it just goes sort of all the way around. But on the other side, if you go like behind the door, there is no door. It's just like in the middle of the ship. But you being close to the other rooms, at this point you didn't notice when you were moving from where you came to this room or like to this warehouse, but now you notice that in between each of those rooms, or like on the wall that is making those corridors, there is some sort of insignias, some sort of like insignias or crest, and you can see that in those two rooms, in the room that you went in, and in the room that is next to, is the same. You can say that it's not part of the ship because the ship is represented by another crest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, have any of you seen this crest before?
Well, I would say, Charlie, if you want to do the first history.
Yeah, I'll have a look. And is that what am I rolling?
History, please.
History. That is a natural 20 for 23.
Today.
So this has the. So imagine if it's like a pair of fangs. Yes, fangs. Yes, not fangs. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Pus. Mm-hmm. For the beast, those are fangs, right? Or fangs?
Tusks.
Fangs.
Tusk.
Tusks.
But the whole thing is a yes. Yeah. So the crest is a pair of jaws, and probably is like a wolf mouth, and inside there is a really, really decorated F, and it has something on the top that it's probably Latin or like that languages, and you know that this crest belongs to the Goldbringers, which trade important stuff, but they basically trade with very rare merchandise in terms of parts of monsters and things that are quite exotic, if I may say.
Okay. Have any of you seen this before? Do you know who the Goldbringers are?
Do
if
any of
there's-
this?
If it's like the go-get backers, then I imagine they're people that bring gold.
I mean, it's not dissimilar, you know what, actually, but they don't just do gold. They do all sorts of things, like things that
Not gold.
couldn't really get hold of, you know?
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Nice.
some wild stuff around here. We should keep an eye out.
If memory serves correctly, they're quite a well-known family in the area.
Yeah,
What on earth are they doing here?
I don't know, but
Oh,
we
they're
just
moving
stole
something.
from them. So we just stole from them, you know?
Yes, we did.
So,
Maybe don't say that too loudly while there are still constructs around.
Did.
Well, we didn't. Taselli did.
That's one way of looking at it.
Oi.
DM, did you say that insignia was in the room itself before, or is it all over the corridors of the ship?
It's just so let's say that you have the room and you have the door here.
Yep.
And you have only the insignia in the wall, and the walls are on the sides.
It's like designating who owns each lockup
Yeah.
room.
And this one and the next one has the same insignia.
But if we robbed them once,
Yes, and look what the message got us in the first time. I feel like we don't want to just root around hoping to try our luck.
I agree.
Absolutely don't want to tangle with any more slime monsters today.
I think they're very powerful, and they must be very rich if they can afford such high-level security. Last thing we really want to do is make ourselves too known to them, I think.
Yeah, let's get back and we'll get rid of that as quick as we can, and then we never knew anything.
yeah.
Somebody who's not carrying the mask wants to talk to the contracts and see how friendly they're being.
Maybe
Good idea,
maybe
Wesley.
somebody could get rid of them.
Wesley, was that you just volunteering?
Oh,
Go on then.
bother.
Come on, Wesley, you have a
Oh,
nice
Wesley.
conversation with
I
them.
would say
do it.
that between the steps that brought you down to this room, probably you pass 6 or 7 constructs. So if you want to eliminate all of them, there would be like 6 or 7 constructs. And you haven't gone to all the other side, but this ship is massive. So probably a couple, like in the order of the dozens, if you want to go all the way down the corridor.
I'll probably just as soon as we're going to come across one, I'll go a little bit ahead of the party and have a chat to them.
Before you do, I will just kind of say, would you mind if I give you a little bit of guidance in this endeavor?
Please.
Good luck. I will literally just give you guidance, but that's all the words of encouragement you're getting.
I feel guided in a mildly patronizing sort of a way.
Sean, I feel like I know a vicar just like touch. It's worrying.
All right. So you're going to talk to. So you have 2 constructs. The one that is on the way to the stairs, that you don't know which insignia is on that room, and the one that is vigilating the other Goldbringer's warehouse.
Yeah, the way to the stairs is fine if that's the way we go. Oh. Yeah, no interest in finding the rest of the warehouse.
They just talk to you in the same way as the previous one, telling you.
I'm terribly sorry. I got a little bit lost. There's so many different rooms around here. Could you point me the way back to the upper deck?
Absolutely, sir. Over there is the exit.
Oh, thank you. You've been so helpful. Can I take your designation number just so I know who to compliment when I'm making my report?
Absolutely, I have that right.
Fantasy name
They
generator.
are called X1815.
Amazing.
So X1 is 15, 22. No, what did I say? 1815.
Is that an anagram, Ali?
No.
1969? No.
1815.
Yeah, I'll just give a sort of encouraging wave at the rest of the party.
As we continue, could I briefly say to Charlie, Charlie, what was it from the room that you got? What is it? Is it diamonds? Is it?
It's a magic mask. That's as much as I worked out so far. It really wanted me to put it on.
Did you do it?
Oh, don't do that.
No, I thought that was probably a bad idea.
Could I have a little peek at it? Make sure I don't put it on, but could I just have a little look?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm very curious. What does it look like specifically, DM?
This mask is a golden mask with the shape of an animal, and it's a rhino. But this rhino has 3 eyes, so it's like 1, 2, and 3.
Is that something that Orica would recognize?
Roll me a. So probably you. So do you want to see if you have seen something similar before? That would be Arcana, or if you have heard about this specific one, would be History.
I'll go for history just to see if it's something that I could know about. 16?
16. Great. So you know that. How open are you going to be with this information with your friends?
Depends what the information is.
So this is the critical role. We're not going to do whispers, but you know that. So you're a bard, and rumors comes to your ear, and you know that the region or has been looking after some similar items that nobody knows where they are, but they've been around lately, and you know that there is 6 of them out there somewhere, but you have no idea what they do, right? Like it's just like, you know that the Goldbringers are interested in this. Well, many people is interested in these artifacts, but the fact that the Goldbringers are interested in this means that it's a big deal, because the Goldbringers wouldn't be dealing just with an uncommon item, right? And that is pretty much what Orica knows.
So there are 6 of these in total, and we have 1 in our possession right now. Okay, cool. Right. Yes, these are very hot. Not like sexy, like desirable. Well, I suppose like these are very sexy items, Charlie. We should be very careful with who we show this to. There are only 6 in existence. We have 1 of them.
Wow.
We need to be careful with it. Don't tell anyone else other than us that we have this.
Would you happen to know what a rhino with 3 eyes is called?
Perceptive.
I was going to say a rhino.
Wait on the wiki.
You crack me up.
I think we should make that into our new song when we go on stage next. The rhino. Yes. Good.
Never tried to do a rhino before.
I'm gonna
the thrino.
Oh god. You know what?
I don't have the talents that you do, Dutch.
No, trino is very, very good word. A nice portmanteau there.
Oh,
Right,
wow.
yes.
What we could do, though, I just had an idea.
Oh, no.
Is we could turn this into the authorities and tell them that Oren told us to do it. And then Oren gets disbarred from being a bard. Your frenemy is no longer a problem, and you can continue on barding without your not as good competition.
So I wasn't keen when you said we should tell the authorities. I felt like that was a very bad idea. But then you mentioned Oren, and now I'm tempted. You swayed me.
I don't want to throw a spanner in the works of what is... It's a lovely idea, Malgak. It really is. I'm appreciating what you bring to this conversation. I'm just mildly concerned that turning the mask into the authorities would put us rather out of favour with Tiseli, and, well, they seem not the sort of person we want to be on the bad side of, so to speak.
I don't mind.
See, you might not mind, but I mind just a little bit.
Certainly it would be difficult to convince them that we're not culpable, considering that we are, in fact, the ones who performed the heist.
Oh, well, yeah, but we just say that, she hired us to do it, and then when we hand it over, they can be there, and then they storm in and arrest her. And who is this Tiseli person you're so afraid of? I mean, it's
just Oren uses they, them, and Tiseli uses he, him. So Tiseli is just, as much as Orica knows, is a very famous bard somewhere around that was supposed to be retired.
Yes, Tiseli's been everywhere. I think Tiseli's been everyone as well. Everyone knows Tiseli, and Tiseli is very powerful. if I had the choice of being on the wrong side of the law or the wrong side of Tiseli, I think I'd prefer to be on the wrong side of the law, to be honest. So I think let's follow the plan for now. And if we need to change it, we can, but I'd rather just do the job.
I don't suppose any of you magical swords happen to have the ability to look into the item, learn a little bit more before we do indeed hand it over.
That is something I can do, but it takes a little, sort of a couple of minutes, and I didn't know if we had the time.
Not
The room
right.
is still open, and the construct seems not to be paying attention to you
Oh, let's keep walking.
right now.
I think
I don't wait. The only one that approached was Wesley.
that's right.
Well, if we could just stay here, I suppose I could cast Identify on it, although I do have to sing a little song when I cast a spell, so...
I have to inclined to get out of the way of constructs and security systems and that sort of thing before we...
Why don't we try and hold up in this room for a little bit? We can get the bits of this thing out of the corridor, hide what we've done, close the door. You can have a look at that mask. I can have a little sit down. Just take a breath. And once we've done that, I can take the mask. I can, like I said, subtly get it to wherever we need on the ship.
Do we want to be at the, for want of a better word, crime scene for this long?
I agree with Tetch. I'd be inclined to get out of Dodge, as it were.
Well, in that case, who would like to take the mask past one of those big machines?
I can try.
The other thing I could do, I'm just going to say, you went in through like a little air duct, didn't you, into the room?
Yeah.
I could go into the air duct with the mask, sing a song to the mask, cast my spell in the air duct while you continue past. No one will see me in the corridor. They might hear some songs coming from the walls, but that will be the only thing they know. But I do like the idea of putting the construct remains in the room and shutting the door.
How did you get into the vent? What trick did you use for?
Well, I can like turn into things. I thought everybody saw that.
I believe you were behind an illusion at the time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, so do you happen to have that skill? Are you able to do that skill again?
No, I need like I said, I need a bit of a sit down, have a rest before I can do that.
A significant sit down, I imagine. A bit longer.
No, not for long, but I mean, I don't need to like stay here till morning, but be an hour or so.
Well, when we were speaking to the metal man at the beginning, the metal man said the jurisdiction was this bit, so the other constructs shouldn't care what's happened here. So why don't we just go for a walk?
All right.
I mean, presumably we're all in possession of certain items that may be considered magical. I'm sure that one more won't necessarily arouse suspicion.
I agree, Tetch. I agree.
Can I roll an insight check, please?
On what? Or on who?
It's more. Maybe insight's the wrong word. I'm trying to judge how much I think Tetch knows what he's talking about.
Just in general, G, just like...
Well, just in terms like what I've just met Tetch today. I don't know anything about him, so what is my judgment of like Tetch reckons one more magic item probably not going to make a difference. Charlie's wondering, but this magic item that we've just a specific one that we've just stolen. Like, So I don't know what. I feel like insight.
Yeah.
That's 13.
13. Tetch, is there anything? Do you want to roll? Well, first of all, is there anything to be deceived? If so, do you want to roll?
Also, I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm trying
No, of course
to give you my opinion. I'm happy to roll a persuasion, but I mean, I'm probably not going to do as well as you. And like my passive persuasion is a 9, so my intentions are literally just I know as much as you do.
What's your I guess it would be Arcana with this? Yeah, what's your Arcana modifier?
Nothing. 0.
Right, okay.
But I think this is
in that case, Charlie will go, all right, Titch, there you go. And I'll hand the mask to you.
Fair enough.
Titch, could you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Bugger.
Oh, don't put it on.
That's a 13.
As you touch the mask, you feel the urge to put it on.
Oof. Do I literally have to put it on once I've got the urge? Okay.
Malagak, stop him.
I mean, if he goes to
slap him in the
I'm going to
head.
grab it off him.
I just slap Tetch in the face with my no.
Yeah.
So you put it on you.
No, on my hand.
On the hand, I guess. If
Try
Yes. I would say make me a dexterity saving throw.
me.
No, Malagak.
Can I use my? Or do I still have advantage from the silvery barbs?
I don't think you used it actually.
No, I was going to use it on the natural 20, but I didn't need it at the time.
Silvery Barb's time.
Can you use it on site?
Within the next minute.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Just try to stop it, and then they just put the mask. And the first thing is like, Tetch goes down.
Good.
And
Shit.
Tetch is transported to the outside of the ship, or at least your consciousness. So you can see the ship. And you recognize the shape of the ship, but this ship is different. This looks like imagine if a mimic could be that size of a ship, but instead of a mimic, some sort of like more aberration kind of creature. So instead of having the sails, this ship has more of fins like those from abolets. But you might be familiar with some sort that kind of literature, let's say. And the ship, instead of being propelled by the wind, is being propelled by some kind of tentacles. And the ship has some eyes all around, but the part that could be considered like the head of this creature, or the front part of the ship, has 3 eyes. Similar configuration as one does from the mask. And it's in that moment when, in both your vision and in the real world, a thunder or lightning just cracks in the sky. And Wesley, when familiar with the storm, or your magic being part of the storm, sort of mythology or origin, you feel this some sort of fun feeling which comes just before a big storm. And the ship just starts like moving, but no worries. I mean, this ship is unsinkable. Or is it?
Stop saying that.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you...
And
Okay, so I'm floating alongside the ship that's not a ship because it's actually aberrational.
yes.
Am I aware that? I'm guessing I'm kind of floating, and it's like some sort of astral projection. You said. Am I aware of that?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Good.
Actually, how do you communicate with Thalos?
I mean, it would be through kind of meditation, so that would be more religion. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so has he
I've got the same bonus.
Has he come to your dreams, to your visions, or do you come to his reign?
I think it's probably more kind of interpreting storms. So, like in stormy weather, Tetch is probably will just kind of listen to the thunder and feels that he hears Talos's wishes in the storms?
Is in that case that you look up and you see this sort of this big cloud that is being illuminated by thunder and lightning, and it seems like a canvas for you, and there is a clear message from Talos which says sink the ship, and you come back to your consciousness, but it seems like the mask is not falling down, so that it's not fixed to you. But if you try to stand out, the mask just sort of stays there for a while. And you can see in your surroundings the skeleton of the skeleton of your comrades. So it's sort of a magic X-ray that is happening around. So unless everybody here is different in the sense of, I've been disguising myself all this time, I would say that all the skeletons make sense, and you can see the brain and the heart. And
oh shit, where's your skin?
I've still got it.
So everybody see how Tech stands up, like comes back to consciousness, and make me a medicine check. Tech.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
May I ask as well, during Tetch's out-of-body experience, could Orica have been actually just casting Identify on the mask during that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Medicine, that was a natural 20 for a 28.
It's a damn natural 20s today. Good
So
Lord.
I'm gonna do Orica first.
Please do.
So this is a very ancient item, and you might not have the full understanding of it because it's so ancient that probably some of the words, some of the magic that has been constructed this is not available to you. You haven't read about it. But basically this item, what it does is it has two functions. This item has been created to spread the aberration race. So you can get that the primary use of this item is to create more aberrations. The second, more practical kind of use is that through the eyes of this mask, you can see if any creature has been infected by a aberration. I guess Orica explains that to everyone, and that makes sense with your natural 20 touch, that you can see around and no one around you. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can see yourself, or if you would have a mirror in front of you. You will notice that there is no sign of aberration infection or aberration transformation kind of. Now, as you stand, you can see as well through some of the walls, not too far, but next room, the one with the insignia, there is a creature. That creature looks like something that you've seen before. Is a were shark and seems just to be there. In the same situation, there is no such thing as an infection, but it just looks like it's like a floating or sleep standings. If you would have to give a guess, is in a stasis, like sleeping. And that is, if you turn around, you don't see any more creatures, even the constructs, because they are just construct. There's nothing to see inside, so you don't see anything. And in the room before this one, there's nothing. So no creatures, probably just merchandise in that one. And yeah.
Am I able to take the mask off if I want to?
Yeah, it takes a while. It is like, it's not like it's fixed to you, but the mask doesn't want to let go. But just with a little bit of effort, you can do it.
I'm sorry about that. I was not expecting the pull of this object to be quite so significant. However, I do have some disturbing things that I must share with you all.
Oh no!
Oh, great.
Are you okay, Touch? You fell over and hit your head a bit hard.
I'm fine. Well, too many of those is not going to be particularly conducive to my good health. Okay. Twofold. Putting the mask on gave me a vision of the ship. The ship was not as we know it in this vision, so I do not know if this is a true reflection of the ship without looking underneath the veil or without certain illusions, perhaps, or whether this is in fact a future echo. But the ship was a creature. It was alive. It was some sort of fish, like a creature with fins and tentacles and eyes in the same configuration as this mask, in fact. That was the first disturbing thing. In fact, you may be able to tell me, while I was watching this vision, there was a flash of a storm, some lightning and thunder. Did that happen for all of you as well?
No, it felt like it was coming, but it's not here yet.
Right. Okay. So potentially this is a vision of things to come, if not immediate present. The second thing, as soon as I realized that I was back, in fact, in my corporeal form, I was able to see through things. I could see your skeletons. I could see your hearts and your minds, in fact, as well. You're all fine. I was given the distinct impression that were you infected with aberrational seed, I would have been able to tell, but you'll be glad to know that you're all fine. However, the second worrying thing, in this room, there is a creature that I've seen before, a were-shark. And if indeed this room belongs to the people that we're saying it does, they cannot get their hands on it.
Why not?
Well, can you imagine a powerful family such as that getting their hands on a lycanthropic sample?
I suspect they'd want to tear it to pieces and sell its parts, to be honest.
Or, in fact, use it to infect others and have an endless supply.
I don't
DM,
that's their way.
how common are lycanthropes of any variety in this world?
For a second.
How common are lycanthropes of were creatures of any variety in this world?
So not that common. And
so I guess, is it the sort of thing where this family getting their hands on one would be game changing, or is it the sort of one where, given a bit of effort, they'd reasonably easily be able to track down and find another lycanthrope? Or...
that could be game changer if you know how to spread the curse, as they said. I would say if everyone wants to roll a history check, just to see if you have heard about encounters. I mean, not Tetch because he knows about were sharks, but everybody has to know any other incident with were sharks.
19 for Orica.
11.
Or Malagak.
Malagak?
That's a 2.
Charlie?
What's a where? Where's the shark?
So Orica will be the most aware of this, obviously, Bart, that the number of encounters with sharks has been increasing, and then some of those encounters happens that the victims or the survivors sort of describe those not as shark but as intelligent creatures that looks like were sharks. But other than that, there is nothing like, no one has acknowledged that, there is a plague of were sharks, right? It's just like something weird happening lately, is to say. Yes, that would be what Orica knows. And Charlie and Wesley, similar rumors.
So I've heard songs of there being sharks. I thought they were in jest until I did a bit of asking around, and apparently, yeah, there's shark attacks on the rise. Some of them not even by the sea, which I thought was strange. And then they said, it's not quite sharks, but shark people. So that makes sense, I suppose.
So unfortunately, I wouldn't describe him as a friend, or in fact, an acquaintance, patriot. This bastard that I know is, and I wouldn't wish this on anyone, has unfortunately become infected with this curse. It's not exactly my mission to seek him out, but should I encounter him, I believe it would be, if only as a countryman, a fellow Kithis resident, as to try and bring him home and aid him as best I can. Should it be him, or indeed put him out of his misery.
What was his name, Tetch?
He was a cleric of Lathander by the name of Daffyd Andrew Rose Basket. He was an all right sort until he got himself involved with the Amnians who were infiltrating our town.
I'm gonna just point my finger at... Was it that room there you say he's in?
I believe...
you say that a wereshark's in?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, my depth perception remained fairly the same, even with 3 eyes.
I'm going to point my finger that way, casting message, and say, Daffyd, is that you?
Oh, interesting. Let me see. What happened if the creature is unconscious?
Good point.
I'm
Just specifically say... They can reply, but it doesn't specifically mention being conscious or not. I forgot about that, actually.
I will say
I don't think I described
it will
that,
be
so.
the same as sending. Sending.
You can leave them an answer phone message and they'll get it when they wake up.
Yes, you don't get a reply.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But given that Fetch so that the vitals of the brain and the heart were there working okay, they're just unconscious.
It's worth a go. I wanted to see if it was your bastard friend, but there's no way of knowing, I'm afraid.
No, indeed, it is worth a shot. I'm afraid, however, knowing that such a creature is on board this ship has slightly changed my priorities. I don't believe that I should be letting it out of my sight. However, I'm conscious that a number of you wanted to take a rest and recover your faculties.
Just to be clear, you're proposing that we break this creature out of its stasis/holding cell, keep them with us, and then smuggle them ashore when we land?
I haven't the faintest clue. All I really know is that it can't fall into the hands of this gold finders.
Right. In that case, how's this for a plan? Let's take that brief sit-down that Charlie was talking about. You can then transport the mask somewhere else, so we don't have 2 things to worry about at once, and then with that safely out of the way, we could explore, well, whatever's going on in here.
The other thing that I probably... It would be remiss of me not to mention. I believe that while I was out, I received a message from my god, who urged me to sink the ship.
Which is unthinkable.
Which I'm led to believe is unthinkable. I'm sorry, Charlie, I spoke over.
I'd like to be off the ship if you're going to sink it. That's all.
My concern is that perhaps the intention is that it can't arrive where it's supposed to get. So perhaps we could settle on a compromise and find ourselves a way of getting off the ship.
Well, what you thought? We can't sink the whole ship. That's silly. There's loads of people on board. What if they can't swim? You can't just sink a boat because of a shark. This feels like it's going a little bit bigger than us just getting a mask for Orin.
I want to just clarify something. I'm not asking to sink the ship because there's a shark on it. I'm asking to sink the ship because my god told me to.
Tetch, is there any possibility your god might be talking metaphorically? Sorry, Malagat, go for it.
No, I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just scared.
Okay, yes. Or perhaps there is indeed a different ship that needs sinking. A ship that is, like you say, shaped like something else. Maybe that's coming our direction.
Oh.
Do you need to be as literal with your god's message? Don't let me interfere with your gods. I know that they're all very present.
Perhaps I should think on it as well. If we're taking indeed a bit of a rest, then maybe I should take that moment to try and commune a bit better and just find out if that is indeed the intention, or indeed, as you say, there is a similar ship that needs sinking. It was a lot to take in.
It feels like we've kind of gone from walking to like rolling down a hill very fast, you know? And I think just maybe getting some ale or sitting down for a bit in our room quietly. What we do with are we not giving the mask to Orin? Are we keeping it now? Because that's going to annoy the gold hand people and
Gold bringers.
Gold bringers, go get golders, and going to annoy Tiselli. We're going to annoy a lot of people, and then you sink a ship, you're going to annoy a few more people. I mean, I like you, Tetch, but, you know, there is...
I'm not asking you to do anything that you would be uncomfortable to do. If this is something that I must attempt to accomplish on my own, then so be it. I would wish you a good day, and don't be on the ship when it goes down.
What will you, like, ring the bell, or will you, like, shout me, like, hey, Balagag, the ship's about to sink, and then I'll jump off it, or, like, I guess that's the plan for another... I'm just a bit worried that we're going fast, and we should think about things you should think, and I'll be there to hug and punch if needed. And sing.
So what's the plan? Where are you going to rest?
When I put the mask on, I don't suppose it did anything funky like disappear. Like, it was still just me wearing a rhino-shaped face mask. So yeah, so it's not exactly the nice subtle thing to keep on if I wanted to actually like keep an eye on the wereshark.
Yeah.
I believe that we will. My intention is certainly to give this mask back. I'm not going to lay claim to it. However, it certainly seems like it would be useful to at least have in our possession for the time being.
Well, the only point in having a rest was to get the mask out of here. But if you say you don't want to let this thing out of your sight, does that mean you want to stay down here, or? Well,
certainly a rest might be good, if nothing else than to help recuperate and replenish your strength, because fighting a rare creature is not going to be an easy task.
Oh, we're fighting it now. I thought we were letting it out.
Don't make me punch it.
It's It might come to it. It's, by the sound of it and by the look of when I peered in, seems to be unconscious. But I don't know quite how easy a task it will be to get it away. Certainly no one's going to be able to keep it under his jacket, if you get my meaning.
Well, you're just worried about this thing making other sharks, right?
Yes.
How does it make other sharks?
Biting, usually.
Right, let's take away its teeth then. Or we just ask it nicely not to bite other sharks or people to make sharks. And then you don't need to, I don't need to punch it. You don't need to sink the ship. The gold bringers don't need to shark to make more sharks, and we all go on our merry way, successful without.
Okay, at this point, I will ask everyone to roll for an insight check, please.
13.
18.
21.
17.
22.
But the -1, I got a 17.
I think everybody noticed at this point that every time Orica says Goldbringers, there is something funny about it.
So when are we going to have a nice short rest?
And with that, we are going to our short rest. We'll see you in 5-10 minutes, and yes, see you soon.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. Hero Forge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time, and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. You could be playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey, heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
Check out our wonderful supporters Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
And we are back. We have finished our short rest and we are ready to mingle in this fantasy universe. Last, we saw our characters, our heroes or anti-heroes, our protagonists. They were discussing how to proceed and whether take a short rest, whatever that is in this universe, or not. Please, the stage is yours.
If we would like to take a short rest, I can play us a little song while we do, and sometimes it makes people feel better. It's up to you. Some of you might be sick of my performances so far.
Please
so,
sing.
You know, it's
Please
okay.
sing.
Okay, I will. You don't have to ask me twice. I'll sing. Liz will not, but Orica will if we do take a short rest.
Then again, where are you going to take the rest? So at the moment, you are inside the room, I think.
Yeah. I think, inside the big room. And I'd like to have brought the bits of the construct in from the corridor, I think.
Yeah. Wesley will, in a surprisingly practiced fashion, start going around casting prestidigitation just to clean up any evidence of the fight.
Is there any plus left?
Wesley, I've got a lot of blood on my fur. Can you help?
Oh, certainly.
Beautiful fur, all matted.
I don't know if there's any like physical damage to like any of the woods, because I know that we cast shatter and there are lightning bolts flying around and such. Unfortunately, I don't have mending. I'm wondering whether I I do have Druidcraft. I'm wondering whether I can kind of try and heal the wood in a sort of more natural way.
That could be fun. I'm gonna allow it. So yeah, as part of your all the effort in as one will probably leave this place inside and outside as if nothing has happened, except that outside this specific room there is not a construct. But maybe they didn't pay this month subscription. Who knows? Good. So I would say you can process that short rest, please.
Please feel free to add 1d6. Do I roll that, Ali, or does everyone each roll a 1d6 for Song of Rest?
I think you roll it, I believe. And it's the
roll
same for everyone. I mean, whatever is easier.
I will roll it. Hey, 1 HP extra, everybody. Take that. It was a shit song.
No.
And
It was just a little bit too emphatic. It didn't rest us. We were too invigorated by it.
Yep.
What happens there?
so first thing that is going to happen is that Wesley, no, Charlie, you receive a message. And it goes on the way like, oh, yeah, sorry I missed you. Come to see me. Silence. Golden suit in the main staff deck. Kisses, Isabella. And because you are a caster, you know that you can reply to this message.
Hey, Izzy. Got a bit busy with some new friends. I'll see you there soon.
Good. Now, my understanding of the spell is that I think you can do it mentally or loud. Do you do it mentally or loud?
No, I probably would have done that out loud.
You're going to see Izzy?
Yeah, I just got a message from her.
Oh, I need to. I've got a message for her too. Can you give her a message from me?
Well, it's a bit late now. I already. That was my reply. So.
What's your message, Malagak?
I don't know.
Okay, right.
And second thing that would happen is that as you are,
I got a bit shifty with that.
Orica is performing this song that makes you feel slightly or like marginally better.
It's a work in progress. I'm sorry, I've not worked out all of the chord progression. I know. Don't make that face, Malagak.
Probably she was a little bit worried about your looks at her when she mentioned the Goldbringers. That everybody was like, So probably Orica felt that kind of pressure, like performance anxiety, let's call it.
Sorry, something in my throat, I'm sorry. Well, if that's us rested, I suppose we should go.
Yeah. Okay. So has Tej still got the mask?
I believe I have, yes.
Just on that, do you have any feelings like you're going to put it on again? Do we need to put your arms back? Do you want me to like tie some rope around your hands or? I don't want you to like put it on, pass out, and then accidentally do something accidentally when you're not there. When you're in the awful world. What was it again?
Well, the astral plane, I believe, could have been ethereal as well.
Oh, that was the word, yeah.
My knowledge of these items is not exactly complete. However, I don't believe I currently feel like I would put it on.
What?
I'm unsure, however, now that I have in fact put it on, whether handing it over is going to be as easy a task as it may sound. Ali, if I tried to give it to someone else, would I need to make some sort of check, or do I need to kind of try that?
You get the idea that so probably when it was identified, you know that the primary use was to create, as I said, is to create more aberrations, and the mechanism is for the individual to put on the mask, and then the mask will create sort of effect and infect the host. But that is just like the default effect. So even if you give it away, the next person would be drawn to put it on because that is what the mask do. But apparently that effect or that infection is not available in the mask. Probably the charge has been spent. So no worry about this mask on creating more aberrations. But the mask wants to be worn.
Okay, so this one, do we get the feeling that when we identified it, will it regain this power at some point, or is it just that this one's spent and now it's just a pretty object?
Yeah, once per day, or like at dawn.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I feel like we could probably pass it around. There will certainly be the instinct to try and put it on. Should I give it to anyone else? We probably only want to use it today.
Could we potentially put it back in its box or somewhere else where we won't be tempted?
Oh, Charlie was fine with
Tell
that.
you what,
He didn't
right,
touch
if I
it.
just hold my cloak open like this, can you just shove it in that inside pocket?
Certainly can. I will just pop it in Charlie's pocket.
So you finish your long rest. You know what's next room. You know where to go to find Isabella.
So there are vents kind of dotted around. Do we get the feeling that we could climb in through the vents to get next door, or are they kind of just like into the corridors and then back out again?
You didn't explore enough, but probably there is a system of vents. Yes.
Okay.
But just to be clear, is there a construct on duty outside of the Wereshark
Yes.
room? Cool.
Yeah. Every room has one except this one, which is dead now.
Do we feel like... If we want to get into the next room, I'm not sure about you, but it seemed to cause quite a lot of commotion just trying to get past that single construct. Perhaps now that we have access to one room, we might be able to make our way into the other one via this one.
But, Tetch, I don't mean to be rude, but this creature is unconscious, yes, in a locked room. If you're worried about it infecting things, I think the best place for it is untouched in that room until we land somewhere. You know it's there. We can always go in before we know we're going to dock up somewhere. Lest the ship sink before then, but I think that would be down to you, wouldn't it?
Go on.
What if this ship were to sink before it landed, given that everyone was safe, and the shark was within the closed room? Do they have a certain time in which they can be underwater for? Do they expire their breath tank?
Very much the opposite. I believe that they must be submerged frequently in order to remain alive. So being in water, I don't imagine would affect the thing. It's really rather that were they to remain confined, they might expire before they were able to consume any food to remain alive.
So we could just leave it, being my point. You could take some time to figure out what it is specifically you'd like to do.
Well,
or
look,
we could just go in there and kill it. I mean, it's up to you.
You said this thing might be your friend, right?
Might be a person I know.
A friend
Personally.
bastard, I think, said Charlie.
That was it, yeah.
Friend bastard.
Well, look,
friend's pushing it.
I didn't really know you well enough to tell you this before, but one of the things I do some business with Izzy. She's my friend, but yeah, like she gets things here on the ship sometimes that my boss wants, and I come and we've got a sort of working relationship. But she knows what's going on in this ship. Maybe she'll have a bit of information about exactly who it is that's next door and why they're there.
I will certainly defer to all of your opinions. If you believe that the safest place is in fact where it is, and I mean, realistically speaking, none of us have a place where we would be able to keep it currently. My concern simply is that once they discover an item missing from this room, that they may well decide to move it elsewhere. And we've only got a limited amount of time within which we can see through walls safely.
Well, I think then we should find out as much as we can and make a plan.
Yes, we're in agreement there.
Great. Well, Izzy said to meet her in DM. Where did Izzy say to meet her?
She said, come to the red suite in the main staff deck.
Izzy said to meet her in the main suite in the red suite in the main staff deck. So I will see you there. And I'll tap the mask through my cloak and crumble away from into ash, and out of the ash,
Ollie's dead.
A rat, a little black rat, will crawl out and make my way somewhere.
Don't worry.
Somewhere where? Somewhere to one of...
I'd like to make my way to the red suite.
Okay, how are we exactly going to get there? So what I'm saying is using the vents?
Yeah, I think
or
so.
passing by the...
Using the vents.
Using the vents, okay. So I would say roll me a survival check. I mean, you have a map, right? But you don't have a map of the vents.
No.
So it could be that as a group try to figure out if you had a map of the vents, how to get out of here. So that would be like with advantage. Or you could just roll survival to get...
I would just roll
your go.
Hang on, I need some rat stats.
That's a sentence you thought he would say today. I need some rat stats.
How are we getting
Well, that's not great. But survival's quite good. So that's 17.
17. So I imagine you get into the vents, and unfortunately some of the vents are quite vertical, so that's gonna take you a while. But you find your way, first of all, out of here because of the smell of food, probably. So knowing that there is nothing really savory or spicy in this room, following any smell of food will take you out of the warehouse level, let's say. So probably you can get to the staff levels without problem. There is where the problem comes, because now there is a lot of smells and a lot of noise. If you want to stay in the vents, the next challenge could be, how do you know which is a red suit, right? So at some point you will have to go probably each one of them, or get out the vents and turn into a humanoid.
Yeah, I think if it's not quite straightforward to work out which is the red suite, then I would just come out of the vent somewhere.
Good. So I would say that will take you between like about 20-30 minutes to get to that level. What is the rest of the people doing?
If tempted to follow.
Meligek, I believe that Charlie's simply using that form to escort the objects away from the area without raising suspicion, but we should be able to pass them without trouble at this point.
Okay. I'm not a staff member myself, and we need to get to the main staff deck.
Yeah, you pass by that one. So there was like where you perform, and then you pass the staff level, and then the warehouses.
Oh, okay. So we can just go straight up into the staff. Okay. Oh, that's fine then. Yeah, let's go. Follow me. To start striding down.
So I would say that obviously it takes a while for everyone to get there. No triggers about security happens, but the question could be, would you close the door behind you?
It's only polite.
I feel like we would do that. We went through so much trouble to clean it out.
So you just close, nothing has happened, you move out, and no, I would say actually the four of you get there before the rat, obviously, because you can just walk away while the rat has to escalate or some of the corridors.
Spider rat.
What you see is just like every kind of staff, but mainly cleaning staff, having the good time. It's that part of time where they just can vent and have a fun. Probably 60% of them pretty drunk. The rest are getting there. And yes, there is some signs, but nothing that says blue suite here, yellow suite here. Just kind of directions.
Would you like me to ask someone where to go? Where's I always feel like you know where we should go. The first time I met you, you seemed very clued up on where we were and what it was like on a ship. So is this something that you know, or should I
Not
ask
the
someone?
red suite from the blue suite specifically, so by all means, go ahead.
DM, could I holler someone down to... Who's nearby?
So you see many people, most of them in groups, and few of them isolated. What are you looking for? A isolated prey or make a lot of friends?
Someone who looks like they work on the ship and is not drunk, ideally.
You see a really tall halfling, and they are rolling cigarettes. And probably they are just rolling some cigarettes to be about to go to the outside to smoke.
Hello, I'm sorry to bother you. Hello, my name's Orica. I was just wondering, I have a friend who is within the red suite. Is that where we're asking for? Within the red suite. And I'm first time on a ship. I'm so lost. Can you help me?
You are new around. I've never seen you.
I know, it's the first time I've been on a ship.
Oh, it's your first
time on a ship, I know. I'm so
you work
lost.
here?
I wish. It must be nice to work on this ship.
The pay is good, but the managers.
Oh, tell me about them. Why? Tell me about them.
Do you want a cigarette?
Go on then. Yes, first time for everything. First time on a ship, first cigarette.
Rolling a cigarette for you.
Thank you. I don't know how to do that. Thank you.
Sorry, what was your question?
My question was, tell me about your boss. They sound horrendous. But also, where is the red suite?
Yeah, my boss. So they are called Paul.
No.
And they're just like, you know what, those people is like, oh, you have to be like passionate about your work and stay over time without paying. And we're like, no. And we tried to get, we tried to form a union, and then he was, I'm gonna fire you. But then, the worst thing is that he is a drunk. So he says one thing when he's drunk, and then he apologizes next day. It's just a mess.
Do you have such a thing on this magnificent vessel as one of those forms that you fill in where you can give feedback on people? Because I have a few things that I would like to say about Paul.
So they point to like a box in a wall, and the box is just like full of paper.
All about Paul, yeah.
Yes.
Marvelous. I'll fill one of those in.
Checks them, so you can see different tones of paper, like one that is really new and one that is like been there for weeks or months.
And where is the red suite? That was my initial question.
End of the corridor, Merca left.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. What was your name?
Paul. No, that was my manager.
That's uncanny.
I am the manager.
Ben. My name is Ben.
Ben, thank you. I'll write something about you, but not as horrid as I would write about Paul. Okay, good. I'm going to grab some of those forms, start filling them in. It's just this way, and then we make a left.
Yeah, it has like 3-4 questions, and from 1 star to 5 stars, name of the staff.
Paul, there's a review for Paul where there's no such thing as 0 stars, and I will write that on there. I'll say that I've had a terrible time with Paul. Ben gets all 5s.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, so you know where the red, and when that conversation finishes,
Sorry, 2 things. Firstly, while this conversation has been happening, have I overheard anything of interest from the other staff members who are gossiping? And secondly, I'd like to fill in a form for XLA 15. I
love everything about this. Well, what do you want to do first? So what kind of gossip are you chasing for? Like,
I'm interested in the person I'm interested in, and I just want to see if I catch anything about them.
So people knows that the cell is in the ship, which is like, I want his autograph. They also know that there is very important people having a party upstairs, like really wealthy bankers, and people also talking about Paul, that he might be fired.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And yeah, you can pick one of those forms.
Great.
Do whatever you do. As you finish your form, maybe all the way opposite side on the corridor, one of the vents on the floor, you see the rat, and Charlie comes back to life, and you see they're like probably 15, 20 feet away from each other.
Nod to everyone. Wander over. How's everyone doing?
Very well.
Good.
Malagak, that is how Charlie turns into back to Charlie. That's what Charlie does.
I've just never seen it before. It's quite incredible. Can you teach me how to do that?
No, I don't think so.
Would have been cool, wouldn't it? Imagine me just go, But yeah.
I'm sure you could learn how to turn into things, but the whole flames and ash thing, that's sort of...
No, you singed my fur before. That's enough fire for me for the day.
Yes, sorry about that.
Smells awful, doesn't it?
So, do we know where the red suite is?
Yes, we do. Lovely Ben, who's fabulous, amazing customer service. Let me know that it's this way and we take a left.
Great.
Although, if any of you come across a manager called Paul,
I'll beat him up.
Beat him up. He sounds dreadful. Does anyone want this cigarette, by the way? Because I've just been holding it this entire time. I've not actually smoked it.
Thank you.
Have you smoked before, Malagak?
No, I'm just peckish.
Charlie, may I give this to you, please? I feel like out of everyone, you're the best placed to handle this.
We'll just sort of reach out and a finger on either end of the cigarette and just burn it all the way down.
There we are. Good. That's how you smoke cigarettes, Malagak.
Well, I can't do that, so I guess I can't smoke cigarettes.
No, you can't. Don't do that.
So you start making your way to the end of the corridor, and it's bumpy because people is... This is very crowded. And it's not like you will have to roll for anything, but people is just having the time, and yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. Actually, I would say roll everyone for perception, or if you want to rely on your passive, let me know.
I will rely on my passive, which is an 18.
18, okay.
21.
I don't know. 14 for me. I should have gone with my normal, but I thought, biscuit for a biscuit.
17.
Okay.
17.
17. So poor Malagak he's been tried to be pickpocket.
Oh no.
Yes. So I think first they realize that you are not staff, so that probably you have some coin on that.
Oh, there's 4 people.
20s and 18s. So I would say you managed to grab one of the really, really wasted kitchen crew, and they still having the apron and the hat, and they were just trying to get some of value from Malagak. And I would say, who was the highest? 23, I guess?
That's a 21. Yeah.
21. Wesley. Do you want to stop that, first of all?
Yeah, as I see it happening, I'll just gentle hand on the wrist and, not this one.
And he goes, sorry, mate. And they keep walking. Finally, you get to the end of the corridor. You go to the left, and there is a couple of like double doors, and one of them is obviously red. And there you are in front of the red suit.
I'll go and knock on the door.
I will do the exact same thing.
Who's this?
Hey, Izzy, how you doing? It's Charlie.
Thanks God you're here. And
Malagak.
Sorry, I hope you don't mind. I brought some new friends.
Oh, give me a second. 5 minutes after, she opens the door. It looks like she tried to put herself together, but you can still see that she's massively drunk. And she's like, yeah, please, come in.
I'll step in and give her a hug as I go in.
Oh, it's always really warm. I mean, literally, but also you are really warm.
Yeah, it sort of comes with the everything.
How long has it been? Like 2-3 months?
Oh, at least. Too long.
Yeah.
Too long.
God. These trips, they pay so well, but they're, like killing. You cannot have like a normal life.
Oh, no.
Anywho, please.
Hello, Izzy, was it? Just if this is a bad time, we could leave you and Charlie to catch up and come back tomorrow. Perhaps we don't want to intrude on.
No.
Malagak.
Everybody, please, come in. I mean, it's fine. Just everybody, please come in. Close the door. And she points at Orica. Sorry, who are you? Just like not in a rude way, just like looking for introductions.
Oh, hello. Yes, sorry. My name's Orica. I'm the lead singer of the quintet. You might have heard us just earlier this evening in our first performance. Anyway, that's me.
I'm Wesley, by the way. I didn't give my name. Sorry, terribly rude of me.
Nice to meet you, Orica. Yeah, Wesley. Nice to meet you. If you're friends with Charlie, you are my friends, and she pauses a little bit.
Wesley, she doesn't sound very sure.
And then she goes back to Malagak. Darling, I'm really sorry. I'm super drunk. I didn't recognize you. And I mean, last time you were like in a better shape.
Excuse me.
Rough.
Yeah. Hello. It's been a few years.
You mentioned that you had been drinking. Is this a state that you wish to remain in, or is this something that is going to make the following conversation slightly harder?
Yeah. What's your name again?
I'm Tetch. Don't worry, I'm a priest of Talos.
Oh,
Drinking's allowed, it's fine.
That's what he says to all the ladies. Don't mind Tetch.
Tetch, yeah, like I know I've been with other priests, and they sometimes have those abilities to get my head clearer.
Indeed, this is what I'm offering.
He's very good. I had lots of scratches before, and he helped me.
Yeah, please, if you don't mind, I think that would be the best for all of us.
Great. I hold my hands out and indicating for her to kind of put her hands just on top of mine. And if she does so, it's the same deal. It'll literally just be another kind of zip and clear.
She sobers up.
That's the restoration.
Exactly the same, but like a quicker pace in her talk. All right, Charlie, are you comfortable with me talking about business in front of these people?
Yeah, a couple of hours ago I would have said different, but we've had a bit of a time.
Good. Malagak.
Yeah?
Same question.
Well, you're supposed to give me stuff, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're lovely. A couple of them saved my life, and the other ones are really good with hands,
So there's been a little bit confusion. Not on my side, I only deliver information.
Yeah.
But it seems like two Patreons have a conflict of interest on what you're looking for.
Oh no.
So unfortunately, both of them pay for the information, which means that I can tell you both that what you're looking for is in one of the private theaters upstairs. Are
we looking for the same thing?
Unfortunately, I think you are. And she takes like a diagram or something, and it looks like a really complicated compass. And she said, well, this is the orrery of the Wanderer, and it's a set of different items. And I don't know which one you're looking for. I mean, it's the only one on the ship, but I don't know which one it is. I just know that it's in one of the private theaters upstairs. I did not receive information about how to resolve this conflict, but surely you will find a way to solve it, right? I mean, I've been paid, I've been giving you the information. I don't think there is anything else for me to do.
All right.
Well, I actually don't know what it looks like. Can I have that drawing?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. This is what I'm looking for.
You have
at that, Charlie is just going to click their fingers and flick a little motive flame at the picture and burn it.
Oh, well, that was surprising.
Wow. She goes and says, well, that's the only one drawing that I have. I cannot do anything else.
Charlie, why'd you do that? Now I have to remember what it was, and that's not very helpful.
Well, you know, fair playing field and all that.
I don't know what you mean.
Charlie just winks.
Oh.
His face just spasmed.
I'm feeling generous. Do you have access to the upper decks?
We might be about to get access, depending on... Well, we've got some things going on.
Well, we don't have access at all, Lizzie. What are you going to be generous with? And I wink at Wesley like...
I can indicate you how to get there the fastest, but there will be like a point of security that requires you a certain level of clearance.
How do we get that? What if we play in the private theatre as the quintet?
I'll never turn down a gig.
How would we get a gig in the private theatre so I can get the thing I'm looking for?
Well, you need to be really, really famous to get access to one of those. No offense, darling, but
Offense
have you
taken,
heard about
Lizzie,
the
it's
rumors?
fine. It's fine. What rumors, sorry?
No. A new friend
The
of me.
rumors about Tesele.
Not Teseli, tell me. Tell me about Teseli.
They said it's around, and you need that level of fame to perform in one of those theaters.
So
Right.
Sally might be able to get us in there.
Yeah.
Also remember that Oren promised to.
I hope you don't mind me prying. We don't know each other very well, but I was wondering, since you're so au fait with rumors and knowing things, do you know anything about what's stored underneath here? Specifically, the Gold Bringers. Have you heard of them? Do you know of anything that they might be up to? You just seem very well placed to know these things.
She gets a little uncomfortable with your questions, and she starts walking around the room, and you can see that it's doing that just to hide any kind of body language or etc. And she also starts like looking into giving you the bag, pretending to be looking for something in one of the drawers.
So you see, when people ask people questions, usually what they do is answer. They don't really tend to walk around ignoring the person that just asked them a question. Never mind. Is everything all right? You seem very perturbed. Have I upset you?
No, darling. I mean, I don't like to talk about patrons that are rather unorthodox with their methods.
In what way are they unorthodox?
In the way of, if you talk more than you should, they come after you. And yes.
Well, what about if rather than us asking open-ended questions about what you know, whether you might be able to affirm some things that we suspect. You haven't told us a single thing because we worked it out.
She looks at you like, hypothetically, that could be not as bad as me talking out of my position. And she keeps moving, and at some point she takes probably like a book and she starts just like going around it.
Well, this is certainly not a conversation that our dear friend is party to, but we may as well have this conversation here, my friends. What do we think about the certain sharky individual downstairs? The one that, part shark, part, infrequent shark, like an occasional shark, like an occasional table, but a shark.
What?
If a conflict would happen between nations, whoever is able to grasp a hold on such creatures would have the upper hand, especially if such nations hypothetically could be by the sea.
Shit. Okay. And hypothetically as well, were such a creature to be in the hold, would they be so inclined as to keep the creature's name, or would they simply be treating them as goods, as one would worry? One might be called a Mr. Rosebasket, for example. That's a random name I pulled out of thin air.
Hypothetically, if such group of individuals could create this in mass, let's say, they should be ruthless about it and not try to keep them as individuals but as products. And as she keeps walking, she keeps going to the book, and at some point she passes by Wesley and says, "Oh, darling, could you please hold this?" And she goes and starts lacing back one of her shoes, and she just continues giving a lap around the room without paying much attention to touch.
I would like to follow her if I may. And I'll be reaching, I'm going to be reaching down my corset, and I'm going to just retrieve something. And I'm going to attempt to show it to her and only her. And what it is a signet ring. And on the signet ring is a symbol that we've seen downstairs, the insignia. There is an F and a jaw above it. I'm going to attempt to just show it to her.
Roll me for stealth. Sleight of hand.
Okay.
No, yeah, sleight of hand. I mean, whichever. I mean, it's still... Yeah.
10, everyone. That was a 10. And I'm going to say that was a 10. And I'm going to say to her, can you tell me the Ferris's endgame?
So everyone, what are your passives?
18.
18.
13.
It's higher, but Malagak would have been looking at the book, not at situation.
Good. Everybody else would be looking at the book.
No.
I mean, Wesley probably would be, given that he's just been given it hold.
Right. So for those, Tej, Charlie, do you notice you might be not that close enough to see the insignia, but you know that there was a sort of wink with her between them. Well, as we know, such group of individuals, for example, one of them could be or not the Goldbringers. They would be looking at selling such merchandise to the best poster, the best, we know that they have zero sense of honor and loyalty. So it just comes to whoever pays the most.
Yes, well, that sounds correct.
And this ship is going to Baldur's Gate. So if such group could be shipping already a sample, I'd imagine there would be a potential buyer in Baldur's Gate.
Thank you for your information, Izzy. Very kind of you to say such things. Do I believe her, DM?
Insight check.
Okay.
May I kind of also just add to that? And you refer to our dear friend downstairs as a sample. Does this imply that there may be more? And simply freeing this one is not going to be a be-all and end-all to the issue.
I can tell you that something of the sort, that this is not a unique product.
Mm-hmm.
There is a batch of it. But as far as I know, there is only one in this ship. Orica.
It was a 9 on the insight check.
I got a 4 on my deception. You feel like, so she's very nervous about this, but she feels confident about, like, probably she's being cocky about, I will never get caught. But yeah, but she's nervous. Yeah.
I won't tell anyone. Don't worry.
It's fine, darling. No one will believe you anyways.
Right.
DM, do I notice anything about the book?
Yeah, there is a note. Obviously, there is a note.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I will palm it as subtly as I can.
I'm watching you.
Or stealth or sleight of hand. I would say sleight of hand.
In fact, could I subtle spell Mage Hand on this so my hands don't even need to move?
I would. But Mage Hand is not invisible, so the casting of Mage Hand would be unnoticeable. But Mage Hand.
Yeah, that's fair point.
I am watching
In that case,
the
yeah,
book
I'll just sleight of hand it.
Yeah.
No.
Natural what?
Yeah.
I'm just watching you, like, I watched the logo.
For some reason, you take the note and you drop it.
Yeah, is the book like on the edge of the table? So you're just like.
And everybody noticed that.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
fine. It's fine. Good. So let's recap.
We have a group of people being incredibly sneaky.
Hello.
People might be or not be fully aware of this conversation and having a sense that Orica has a relationship or something to do with the Goldbringers. Charlie and Malagag are looking for the same item, which might become to a conflict of interest at some point. And it is in one of the private theaters upstairs. You have also heard from rumors in the corridor that there is a bunch of wealthy bankers having a party upstairs. Of course, the cell is somewhere around in the ship, and that whatever is downstairs might be others being shipped. So probably the network of the gold bringers is shipping this already, like a sample thing, like a trial kind of thing. And Wesley has a note on his hand about who knows. How do you want to proceed from here on?
What does that note say, Wesley?
I believe.
Well, the book, you can have it if you like. I was just holding it while Izzy. Anyway, do we want to get this mask back to Sally and Doran? So
No, you're not going over my head that quickly, Wesley. I feel like we're all a bit sneaky right now. I thought we were friends.
We are friends, Malaga.
You burnt my paper.
Yeah, I didn't sneak about that.
No, you didn't, but it was a bit unfair and unkind, and I have taken it personally. Wesley, I saw you. I'm sorry. I was watching the book and there was something in it and you put it in there. I'm not saying that you're hiding anything from us, but right now, my life is at risk because this ship could sink at any moment. And I just want to have the full picture in my head.
And
Before you die.
Isabella goes like, sink? What are you doing?
It's a long story, Izzy, don't worry. There's plenty on lifeboats, I think.
Yeah, but don't fuck with Tetch, though.
Yeah, don't fuck with Tetch.
Malagak, I believe that certainly we are not trying to deceive each other. It may just be that rooms are not always as empty as they seem, and it's easy enough to observe what goes on.
Izzy is a friend and I trust her completely. And
Indeed.
if she's been able to tell us this stuff confidently, then I'm not worried about people listening.
No, Izzy told us nothing. We merely had a conversation, and Izzy input. Never actually told us anything that we didn't already know.
Well, that's true. So what are you saying?
I'm saying that maybe this is a conversation we need to have slightly more privately.
Can you promise that no one's going to get burnt, metaphorically or physically?
I don't imagine that I can. However, I can promise that those who get burnt, unless they deserve it, will get healed.
Right. Okay. All right, fine. You keep your note, Wesley. We'll talk about it later. And I'm gonna draw what I saw again, and I just take a bit of paper from the side and draw like a circle on it. Right. I know what I'm looking for again. Don't burn this one, Charlie.
I won't. I promise.
Beautiful.
Before
Wesley,
we go, oh, sorry.
You were asked a question.
Oh, me. Yes. I'd like to just mosey up to Izzy and slide 5 gold pieces to her. I have a rumor, if you're interested. Information is always something that people wish for. If I give you this money and the rumor, you could spread it for me throughout the ship.
Oh, me and my 24 mates, we're gonna make it. It's gonna fly like the wind.
There's a bard on this ship called Oren. Was so good, could rhyme and everything. But I've heard that his career's going down the pan. I wouldn't go to any more of his shows if I were you.
I will absolutely do that for you, darling.
Marvelous, good, yes. Don't believe a word he says when he sings.
And she goes and says, you see, you are a quite proud member of the Ferocious. I knew.
Good, well, if we've got that sorted, Izzy, anyone else? Questions for Izzy? Rumors to give her?
I heard that Malagak was so brave and strong.
And she goes like, I will do that for free, darling, just for you.
I believe I am done, certainly.
Izzy, pleasure as always.
Take care of yourself. And you two, try not to kill each other, okay? Nothing is more worthy than be alive.
Wait, killing was on the table.
No. And give me a good review.
As always. Right, let's go get into a private theater.
Right, so if you're getting out of here, I think just trying to summarize what kind of leads you have is that you need to get to the upper decks, and Oren, you had a meeting arranged with Oren to give back the mask, and they will arrange for you to get into the upper desk. Unless you have other means to do it, but that would be probably, the best. Now, somebody mentioned a potential performance from you, like in one of the theaters. If you want to proceed in that way, let me know how. But other than that, that's a ways that you've been presented already. Of course, you can find your own ways.
I have a question, which is kind of maybe not the initial, like immediate kind of party goal, but just because I'm trying to figure this out for Tetch. Would Tetch have any idea how to go about trying to sink a boat?
So the easiest way to sink a boat would be make a hole in the upper layers,
mm-hmm.
and with enough. So this ship is gigantic, so probably 2/5 of it is already underwater. So if you, with that amount of pressure and amount of water, if you find a way to create that hole, it will inevitably sink. Well, it depends also how far away from the coast because it will sink, but not that quick. So if we are really close, probably they will have time to get into the shallow waters, etc. But if we are like in the middle of nowhere, no chance to survive.
Just go down. Okay. Okay.
So, where do you want to have a conversation about how to proceed? Inside or outside the room of Isabella?
We go back to our cabin and then organize a meeting with Orin, work out what Tetsu want to do, and then prepare ourselves to go upstairs to get my item that I'm looking for.
Sounds like a plan.
Indeed.
So I would say that you quickly make it to your cabin, and as you close the door to start discussing, this thunder lightning shakes the whole ship, and Wesley and Tetch, you know, the storm is here. The floor is yours, guys.
You might not need to sink the ship after all.
That's certainly one way to do it. But do we have unresolved business on the ship before it inevitably goes down?
Speaking of unresolved business, Charlie, you're looking for the Orrery as well, yes?
Yes, I am.
What can I ask why?
It's just a thing my boss wants.
Yeah, me too. Do you like your boss?
Sometimes.
Well, my boss is also my chieftain, so I feel like that hierarchy is probably a bit more important. Does your boss want it forever, or can we share?
I don't really know. I don't really take part in my boss's actual work.
How about I take it first? Me and you go back to my chieftain, and he could do what he wants with it, and then you could take it from there to your boss.
What does your chieftain want to do with it?
I don't know. Maybe it's a compass, right? The octopus drawing, just a circle. Maybe he wants to find something with it.
Well, why don't we find it and see what happens?
Yeah, I just like to have a plan beforehand. Just I've had people before when I've gone to go get a back of things, and you have to pull and everything breaks and people end up getting punched or hugged to death, and never in my I just want us to make sure we can still be friends and fulfill our goals.
I want to stay friends too.
Okay, that's good. As long as I know that you want to be friends, then we can come to a solution when we arrive at the item.
Sure. I mean, who knows? Maybe the boat's going to sink and we'll both die. So.
That's fine. I float. You could just lie on my back. There's enough room for one, maybe two.
Love it.
Titanic reference.
Yeah.
While this conversation is happening, can I have dropped back a bit from the party and read the note?
Yeah, so the note is more of a drawing, and there's a figure or someone. It's a very masculine elf with the whole beard, but it has like a undercut. Like it seems like it's really wealthy, but it also seems a little bit rough. So probably those kind of people that has made the money through the not on the right side of the law. But yeah, it's an elvish. You know the name of your. What you're looking for?
Does this match the description that I got from the bartender?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And it has the name. It just says Mildred. And that's
cool.
it.
I think whatever happens next, Orica, and then I look at Tetch, is going to be instrumental, look back Orica, in achieving our entry to this place. So what do you think is best? And I look at Tetch to see if he's smiling or not.
Tetch is smiling.
I'm going to give Malagak a high five, I think, for that. Well, we know that we have... Do we have to give this to Oren? We do have to give it to Oren, don't we?
Eventually.
It's your mission, technically, isn't it?
If we do want to gain access to the upper decks that way, which seems like about our best lead at the moment, that it
Really, yeah.
doesn't seem like a bad plan. Unless anyone has some great objection to giving it to Oren. I mean, I know it's a rather powerful artifact, but...
Can we make a copy of it? Anyone good at wood carving?
I mean, carpentry, certainly, but then imbuing it with the same magical powers would be our stumbling block, I imagine.
Oren seems like a bit of an idiot. He won't notice.
Does anyone have the ability to send a message to somebody that isn't the message spell, per se? Because we could always ask Tiseli directly, just cut Oren out of it.
I mean, just like carrier pigeons, smoke signals. I could run and go find Tiseli.
I think it might be a problem finding Tiseli. I think there's going to be security on the door that we're not really allowed to attack.
I'm out of ideas.
Yeah. Well, we'll go and talk to Oren, I suppose, and...
You just want to cut Oren out because you don't like him?
Well, I mean, he's going to be giving it to Tiseli anyway, from what I gather, so why do we...
Well,
bother?
exactly, so...
But we need Oren to get us upstairs, to where the lounge is.
Perhaps Oren would be slightly more amenable to us holding on to the item for a little bit longer, particularly if we, inform them how expensive the item is and how powerful, in fact, and the fact that they'd be putting themselves in a rather amount of danger if they were to just take it off us.
That's true.
As this conversation happens, can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
What?
What did we touch?
Seasickness.
19. Yes, finally rolled well.
9.
However, you've rolled like 3 natural 20s.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I also got a natural 20.
14.
I think.
11.
Charlie's again?
11.
11. So Charlie starts feeling a little bit like weird, but you're fine. But Tetch, you getting seasick. I mean, but you are a storm cleric, so there is something of this not natural, but nothing to worry about.
So you say nothing to worry about. I feel like you don't mean that.
Also, the boat is unsinkable.
Yeah.
I believe that I might appreciate returning to the chambers for a lie down. This is...
We're already in the chambers. Are you okay?
No, so we are. Yes.
Do you want me to lift you up into the top bunk?
No, certainly. The closer to the center of gravity of the boat, the better, I believe. Top bunk, certainly not.
So,
Could I do a medicine check on Tetch?
absolutely.
Just to see if there's anything that we could do. Tetch, normally you're the one who solves problems for everybody else. It's a magical thing. That's a 16, Ali.
Usually a little bit of fresh air helps. Lime as well, like any citrus. But seems like if on a closer inspection, like the eyes are really big, like dilated. Yes.
Tetch, are you on drugs, Tetch? We need to know these things.
Certainly not. I haven't touched a narcotic or a hallucinogenic or even alcohol for a very large number of years.
Well, your eyes dilated, and you're clearly very sicky. Now I can go and find you a lime and soda from the bar, or Charlie, you might be able to do something.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Please.
That's 17.
You might have been close to creatures in the forest or some sort of kind of... You're really old, right? So you come to some kind of creatures that it's not that they charm you, but they kind of affect your senses. Yeah, not in a aggressive way, more in a passive way. Like if you're close to this creature, you might start having hallucinations or XYZ. Yeah. But no one to your knowledge like on the sea, and you've been here for a while in this cabin, so it's not something that was in the cabin or that is currently in the cabin.
I take the mask out and put it on.
Nice. So
let them do it. They need to see.
Are you going to examine Tetch, I guess?
Yeah. Actually, so my thought process is I've just felt this. It's definitely affecting Tetch, and it's not something in the cabin. So I want to see if it's someone immediate in the sort of rooms or corridors immediately around us.
Yeah, I get it. What you get is this. Tetch is perfectly fine in the sense of there is no signs of infection, but yes, you can see that probably his heart is going a little bit slower. You know, there's just something like physically that is not matching the natural state of Tetch. And as you're looking for other creatures in the room, you actually see other rooms, and you spot probably between 15 to 20 creatures that there is something wrong with them. And there is something in the brain or in this area that doesn't look good. And it moves and has tentacles. Very tiny.
Well, Tetch, there's nothing, I can't see anything wrong with you, but there's actually quite a lot of people on this ship that have some kind of infection or something in their brains. And that's just in the immediate vicinity around this room.
Seems that they've been busy.
Who have?
Does anybody happen to make a habit of keeping maps of the Sword Coast about their person? You know, the route that this ship is taking. Anyone so prepared?
I don't have a map on me, but I know it pretty well. What are you wondering?
I'm still on the thought process that if there are indeed infected individuals and we need to prevent this infection from spreading to the shore, then perhaps the goal of sinking the ship is somewhat aligned. Obviously, we want to try to heal these individuals, but I'm only one cleric and Orica is only one bard. Between the two of us, I don't believe we'll be able to do very much. So perhaps sinking the ship through the expedient of driving her through some rockier areas.
Or Tetch, if we don't resort to such drastic action, what we could do is find the source of the infestation. I usually get the impression that removing the source stops all the smaller ones from wriggling as much.
I believe the source might be the mask, to be quite honest, my dear.
What if we go get the wheel, like the steering wheel of the boat, and we turn it around and we sail it back?
I mean, I certainly have some experience in sailing nautical vehicles, so would be able to drive the ship. So should we decide to take this path, yes.
Whoever was able or familiar with the area can roll me a survival check or history check.
Sorry, slightly.
I am familiar, but I rolled a 2, so right now I'm not.
Could this be a check using navigator's tools?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll get on that as well.
Wait, I have navigator's tools too. Why do I have? Oh, because I'm a sailor.
I've rolled 27.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know how to roll my tools.
Only 11 for me.
11. Wesley?
Yeah, sorry. 4.
So 27. There is some options there. So you go out of Atkatla And then you have the Cloud Peaks, which doesn't have like a really bay. So instead of being like a beach, I imagine that it's more like cliffs and like, you know, like those sort of just walls of rock next to the beach that you can just crash the ship on them. Or this ship is also making a stop in Candleskip. And before Candleskip, there is a couple of islands that you can use to bridge them. Is that the word? Like, you know, just to stop it to get
Bridge
into
the hull.
Yeah.
Or
And probably
around the
if
ship
you
on it.
find the right one, you can just cause the rocks to make the hole underneath the ship, and then it just will sink. But that is still very close from the shore. So, yeah. But then just open sea on the left. But yeah, there is options if you want.
I pass on all of that information.
Yeah.
Tell everybody that.
And as well,
there's a lot of options.
As you are investigating that, you realize that the meeting time with Oren is almost there. So you will have to go back to his backstage room if you want to meet with Oren.
So what are we thinking? Are we going to go and give this mask back to Oren?
I was just going to say, if we need to keep an eye out as we travel through this ship, I could don the mask and disguise myself as something else so no one can see the mask on me. Unless anyone else has the same sort of spell, they could do it too, just so we can keep an eye out on any potential threats that could meet us on the way, just while we have it.
I'm wondering if we want to be a little bit more careful with donning the mask. I know we don't think it's doing anything until the dawn, but given that it seems to be affecting Tetch and possibly Charlie, perhaps the fewer of us exposed to it, the better.
True.
Certainly, we would be taking a risk.
Could you disguise one of them?
Only disguise myself. It's quite a specific little number. It says self, which sadly just means me.
Well, it's fine hidden, right? We don't need to wear it to keep it hidden. Charlie did an amazing job just in the cloak.
No, it's more to just keep a scan around us to see if there's any more of those things. But I wonder if donning the mask causes those things to exist.
I think it does, but Tej said it won't do it again until tomorrow.
I'm confident in that. And while I'm reluctant to put you at risk, my dear, I do believe that the intelligence may well be worth that risk. So if you are comfortable in so doing, then I believe this may well be a useful venture.
I'll take the risk. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, if that's something that everyone would like me to do, I will.
Why don't we go for a meeting with Oren and then ask Oren to bring Tiseli down to find out what they're going to do with it before we hand it over? Because if we hand this over and it makes more of these infected people, there's already infected people. We don't want more. We don't want them to give them the way of making more. Maybe Oren could get Tiseli to come down and then we could have a chat before we hand it over.
Ali, do we get the impression that Tiseli would be would be a kind of benevolent person to pass it on to? Like we didn't get a sense that Tiseli had evil ends.
That's my word.
What's his exact thing? I can't remember.
You didn't get... So you got good intentions from Tiseli, but interaction with Orica and Alkid was a little bit like more on the negative side. So whether Tiseli is planning to do something with the mask, maybe not. What are the motives behind Alkid? Who knows?
My thoughts are simply that we should make this meeting. We've probably dallied enough, but perhaps we see whether we can convince Oren to let us hang on to it just for certain, if only because it's a dangerous item and is safer in the five of us' hands.
I agree.
Right, are we going to keep an eye out?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, Orica. I'm gonna don the mask.
As you put it on, I mean, you feel this sort of stalking up from the mask, just trying to stay there. So even if it doesn't have like something to tie it up to your face, it just stays on your face. And why is it gonna be your look?
I kind of want to look like Taselli, just because I want people to like me when I wander through the corridor. But that's a bit too everybody look at me, so instead I'm just gonna look like Alkis instead.
Alkis.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good. So you started making your way to the backstage. Yes.
As we go, Tetch will just kind of say to Orica, would you be able to let me know whether, if as we're passing someone, if you see someone who has this infection, maybe not a very incredibly infected person, maybe someone who's just on the with one of these baby infections, but I would like to see whether just pumping in a slight restorative spell might relieve them, and you'd be able to observe this and see what effect it has on the brain.
Of course, I will. If I see someone close, I'll start humming the first verse of 25 Maids.
Perfect, and you'll indicate at what point on the clock face this maid is.
Oh, Tetch, there'll be dance moves. There's always dance moves with these things.
Lovely.
You'll know which way they are.
So we look out for people who are infected, and I want to try and less restoration ones so that Orica can observe that.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing happens. It's just like if they were drunk, they just sober up. It's like, I want more drinks. But yeah, there is no such effect.
Yeah, so it doesn't do it. I figured not, but always better to test it out.
So you make your way from your cabin, passing by some other decks, and then you get to the decks where they're like the pub where you perform. On your way, you see Orica sees several people with such infection. Most of them are from the crew, and then not a significant number of passengers, but not too many. So most of them are just the crew, but there are a lot of them. And probably you don't see any reaction from them or any different behavior. But from time to time, maybe 1 out of 10, if you make contact or eye contact with them, they notice like something different about you, and they like sort of recognizing or acknowledging something, and they just keep going with their businesses.
How many in total? How many in total will I have seen at this point?
Many.
Okay.
Yeah.
37 maids on a ship. 37 maids on a ship. 38 maids. 39 maids. The number will keep increasing.
If you get to the 100, you pass 100.
At some point, could I have also tried remove curse? Could I have the spell slots?
Yes.
So I can try lesser, and then I can try remove curse.
Absolutely. Which one do you want to pick up, and where do you want to do it?
I mean, what can be
Let's say
seen?
that at this point you are at the pub, just right about to make your way backstage.
Bartender.
Rick. Rick. Let me roll for Rick.
Oh. Yeah, I guess if it's someone that we know and like, then that makes sense to.
That's only if I would know that you're doing this anyway.
Rick is fine.
Rick is fine. On second thoughts, do we want us to try on, someone that's random that we can see who has an infection, or do we want to save it and see whether Orin, in fact, may have this? I can hold on to it and do it another time.
Yeah, if Orin's infected, then be good if we have some option.
I can only do it one more time before I'm going to have to. I'm going to need a good kip before I can do it again.
We can use that as a bargaining tool.
Certainly, we could tell Orin that they're infected, whether or not they are. That's certainly one way to get us to keep the mask.
I think we should tell Orin that they're infected.
I had a feeling you'd like that plan, my dear.
I love it.
All right. Well, you can maybe. Do we need a signal to for you to let me know whether this corruption is indeed real? That we would know. So you give me a signal if you're faking it, or you give me a signal if it's real, and then I know whether I'm actually going to be trying to remove the curse, or if I'm simply going to add some pizzazz.
If it's absolutely real, I will sneeze. If it's not, I'll just hum a little ditty.
Good to know.
No. So you're in the pub, sort of Rake acknowledge you like, hey guys, welcome back. And then you start making your way backstage. You are in front of Oren's room door.
Ready?
Ready.
I will rap on the door.
So actually, before you go in, you can see two individuals inside.
Oh, of course.
This can see through walls. One is infected and one is not.
Okay, one is infected, one is not. Also, there is something else in the room that I've seen, and it's Oren's black heart. Clearly, very evil.
Yes. You're probably best to put Oren out of their misery, isn't it? Okay, of course.
I start unsheathing my
No,
my
Malagak, no, let's not resort to that.
You must
just
have
yet.
some serious history.
I mean, just some things. Let's go in. Let's have a look and see. And
Please do let us know which one is which.
I will motion when I sneeze.
Indeed.
So you knock the door and you hear Oren's voice. Yeah, who's this?
It's only Orica, come to wish you the gladdest of tidings.
Oh, yeah, please, come in.
I will open the door, but I guess Oren would see Alkis sneezing very loudly his direction.
So as you open the door, Oren goes like, Alkis?
No, not quite.
You devil. I see what you're trying to do. Anyways, please, everybody come in. Let me introduce you to my friend. So the first thing that you see, or that because you only can see skeletons and brain and heart, is that the voice coming from the infected body is the voice from Oren, and the other body is not infected. For those who can see more than skeleton and brains and hearts, especially Wesley, you see this individual, an elf, really masculine with a whole beard and an undercut. This is the people or the individual on your message. And with that, we're gonna finish tonight's game. Good. So thank you everyone for joining us and being part of this, whatever session was tonight. And if you enjoy tonight's game, we play on Monday, 6 p.m. GMT. And on Tuesdays, we have a Fracture, 6 p.m. GMT. And on Fridays, we have a talk show, whether this is Talking is a free action or
Talk Together.
Or Talk Together. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcasts, all versions of our show available everywhere. Just look for Roll Together RPG. If you cannot find us, please let us know, and we will try to put it in your favorite podcast service. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There is a link in chat for you to join us for $1, £1, £1 gold piece, depending on your currency. Big thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. We love you very much. And don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.